Hey guys, this is Lisa Tedder with Tedder Bear Stamping, and today I'm going to show you how to do no-line stamping and watercoloring. This one is more to the look of no lines. This one you can see some of the lines, so I think it's just because it's brighter, but I still like how it came out. And this part right here just looks so pretty. I got this idea on Pinterest, and I got it from Elisa Tilsner. And she did such a great job, and it really made me want to give it a try. So I'm going to do this one right here, and I wanted to show you how to do it. And I was super intimidated by it, and I thought for sure that I wouldn't be able to do it, but I surprised myself. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo, and the key to this is to stamp off, and then you will be able to just kind of see where you're going. So I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to do this one twice because this is a brighter. And I have, okay, I normally cut out the middles because right here you can see, and especially on here, that you have that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this, and then try not to smush it so much when I stamp it or get it inky. This thing is worth its weight in gold. I love this. And all right, so let's start all over. Try not to squish. I'm using Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. Oh boy, you barely can see that. I'm not even sure that's going to be enough for me to follow. I'm going to give it a try though. Maybe. Oh, I'm really nervous now. So we're going to see if this will work. Okay, this one at least I can see a little bit better. Alright, so you're going to open up your pad, and you are going to use this part right here, and you are going to use an aqua painter. And I always have my name on mine so that when I go to classes, it's not going to walk away from me. Alright, so you would normally use the re-inker and just put it in there, but I still have quite a bit in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start. You want to get your, have a paper towel close by, get your brush wet. Then you're going to come in and just squish some of the water out of here and put it onto here and make it really, really light in color. So I'm going to go ahead and just splot that a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start. I want to do down here first because, oh, this is still pretty dark. This is why it's always better to start off really light and then come in, because you can't take color away once you have it on there, but you can always add. Okay, I'm going to just move this so I can go around. Okay, so then I'm going to just take my aqua painter and just bring some of the color from the side, and do the same for the other side. And get a little bit dry, and then see, if you dry it off in between, it kind of helps not have so much. See, that bottom is pretty dark. But we're gonna just keep working with it. And already you can see how if you bring it in from the side, you can leave this lighter color on the front. I am going to try to get a little bit closer, and pardon me if this doesn't work, but so that you can see. Okay, hold on. There we go. Then I'm going to have to redistribute here a little bit where I'm at. Okay, so I'm going to come back in, get some more, still not a lot, and dab it off a little bit on my paper towel. And I'm going to go ahead and you just want to lay down a little bit of color at first. Okay, I'm bringing in a little bit more darker color, and I'm going to bring it in from the side again. So what I did was I brought it over here to my paper towel, and I took some of the color off of my brush and then went back over it so that it wasn't quite so dark. And I'm trying to get close to the edges. All right. Gonna pick up a little bit more color, not have it be too dark or too wet, and I'm just going to do on the areas that are in the back. And then try to have this be just, whoop, needs to be a little bit more color. And each time I'm dipping down onto my paper towel to try to keep down the color so it's not quite so. Now it's not quite, I'm sorry, I'm not finishing my sentence. So it's not quite so wet. So now I'm going to come back over this, and I am really not liking how this is looking, but we're going to see what we can do. I'm going to just dab it a little bit to get some of that water off. And then I'm going to pick up some more of the pink, but not have it be as dark, so you can't see the lines. All right, now I'm going to come in with a little bit darker, and I'm going to turn this and try to follow the line. Can you see? Okay. Follow the line that I stamped, just so that we have that there. All right. So that's not too awfully bad. And then I'm going to do this again just to make sure. And come down here. Oops, my finger got in the way. Try to make a line. I'm picking up a little bit of color so that it's just barely on the tip. And I'm going, nope, see, it's too wet. Okay. Try to follow the line. And I love my dog. Never fails. Ah, see, it's still a little bit wet. but I think it's gonna be okay. There. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit of the top here because that needs to be a little bit darker. Then I'm going to try to come in a little bit on the sides here. I'm getting it wet again. And I know you can barely see how I'm doing this. So I'm making it very pooly. That's not even a word. Right there. And just to have color on my brush, and then I'm going to make it dark on the sides again. And if I need to have a little bit more color, I just get it and then wipe it off on my, there, that's looking better. I'm telling you, this really scared me when I started. And this, I'm dabbing off some of the water, or the color, because that was a little dark. But I still need a little bit more. Okay, so now that this is dried a little bit, I'm just going to come in with my wet, with no color on it whatsoever, and just try to make that bleed a little bit more, so it's not as obvious. I think I need a new aqua painter. Okay. That doesn't look too awfully bad. I want to have a little bit more color. Don't want to have it be too dark. There we go. Coming in from this side. Squeezing off some of my water so that I can just bring this off, or my color. Alright, so that doesn't look awesome, but it doesn't look awfully bad either. I'm just trying to have it be a little bit of awesome. And I'm dabbing this off to get it so that it's not as wet and not as got as much color on when I come to the middle. Okay, so that's not too bad. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to move over to my cup. Let me move that. Okay. So much for my sign here, huh? But there's nothing I can do. All right, you remember I'm Tedder Bear, right? Tedder Bear stamping. All right, so I'm getting in here, making it really wet and washed out. I'm going to come over here and just dip a little bit onto my paper towel so that I don't have it be too wet. And I'm just going to do the outline, and then I'm going to come in. Alright, so I'm going to come in and make my lines. I'm going to turn this over so I can, let me dry this off just a little so that when I go to do this, it's not going to be to where it'll spread. Okay, there's one line. There's the other line. This is just so that we can do the darker shadows and have it look a little bit more painted. I'm going to get this wet and take off a lot of the color, and now I'm going to do a little wash so that it's not super colored on the sides. Alright, so I'm going to tap that a little bit and come in again with a little bit of color, and you can see how I'm doing that. And I'm going to take off some of the wet and just by tapping it on here. And I'm just going to go again onto the sides so it has more of a shadow. And more of a shadow this way. And I'm not getting rid of the lines that I did. I'm just kind of highlighting them. Alright, now I want the top to be darker because there should be shadow there. Still doesn't look as good. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more re-inker so it's a little darker. Squeeze out some water so it's not quite in your face. This is a lot longer than I was hoping it would be. Still trying to keep my lines that I made earlier. Okay, I'm squeezing off my aqua painter to come in and smooth out those lines a little bit. So I'm going to turn this back around. I've been doing it upside down so I could see. Still want to outline that a little bit. So I'm coming in with darker. That's not too bad. Now I'm going to do the handle. Like I said, this is trial. Well, I don't know where I said it. I might have said it in my head. Trial and error. And I'll show you one of the ones that I think that I got too dark, but then once it dried, it didn't look too bad. That was glowing praise, huh? Too bad. And I just keep going back in for some more color to try to make it match. A little bit more. Okay, so, let me do a little bit on this top here because it really has no color. That'll look a little funny. And get a little bit for the top here. So I have a spout. There. Alright, so it does. There's parts of it that don't look right, but I'm going to come in and try to give it some dimension. That does not look as good as the one here. I went a lot lighter with it. And I stamped it darker, which I'm kind of thinking that that might be better. So let's see. Because it's really hard to do and not have any lines. But that was the whole point, right? All right, so I'm going to close this up. I am going to come in with my soft seafoam, and I'm going to stamp with Lovely Lipstick the sentiment, and then I'm going to cut that out. And I will do that off stage. Okay, let's see. There, that's pretty. I think that looks better than the black on here. You like that better? I do. All right, so I'm going to cut that, and I'm cutting those with the die that goes with, let me get the stamp set so you can see. This is the stitched labels, and it goes with the stitched all around. Let me back up a little bit because now I'm too close. There we go. All right, so the stitched all around has these two right here and a whole bunch of other cool ones. This is one of the ones that I just had to have, and I used it before to do the bookmark with this, so that is nice. And the stamp set that I used today is the Tea Together, and then if you spend $100 you get the dies that go with this, which I stuck in here, which I've got half of them out because I'm going to go use them. But let me show you them real quick. Quick is the opportune, here it is. And then I also wanted to show you what I did earlier. I'm going to wait on that one. But here's the tea pot and the cup. So I'm going to do that off camera. But here is one that I did earlier with black instead of the color, to see what you thought of that. It's pretty. It just doesn't look as like no lines as like this one does. Then I did this one. This is the one that I said that it looked too dark. That I did too dark. Got kind of muddy in here, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm hoping that the ones that I did, once I cut them out, that these won't look bad either. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Cleaned up a little bit so that I could show you what I did. Alright, so this is the teapot. Doesn't look too bad. And this one is the cup. So what I'm going to do is bring in my other stuff. I went ahead and cut this out with the lovely lipstick and this out of the seafoam, soft seafoam. And I'm going to bring in a 1 1/4 inch circle punch and cut out some of the sparkle paper to put behind. And I'm going to layer those. So let's get my tape. Okay. Whoop, didn't mean to put that much. It's always good to use either the green glue or glue dots to put it on to design the glitter paper, because it just doesn't stick otherwise. All right, and then I'm going to put dimensionals on that. And that is going to go right onto here. Now the last one I did, I thought I was using Lovely Lipstick, but I was using the Berry Burst. So that didn't do me much good when I'm trying to match the paper. So the paper is called All My Love DSP, and I have to show you this. This is so pretty. Look at this. So it has the Berry Burst, not Berry Burst, I just said that, Lovely Lipstick, the, my brain, the Flirty Flamingo, and soft seafoam in the cardstock. So we want to make sure that we incorporate that. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is 1 1/4 by 5, and I'm putting it on 3 3/4 by 5 of soft seafoam. So let's put some glue on the back of this. And put that onto my soft seafoam. And that's the good thing about the green glue, is that you can reposition it. All right, then I am going to, let's move this, put dimensionals on the back of these and on the back of this one. Now, if you're going to be doing this, I would highly recommend that you practice, and just remember, it's just paper, so it doesn't really matter if you mess up, because you can always just do it again. It's just paper and ink. That's the biggest thing that I had to learn, is every time that I would make a mistake, I'd get so upset, and then I'd be like, no, it's just paper. We can always keep trying, and you just keep doing it until you're happy. Okay. Silly dog. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and put that onto a piece of 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 of black. And I'm going to put some, oh, wrong one. Okay. I have to stand up for this so I can see. It just didn't look good with it just being right on to this without having a little border of black. So what I'm going to do now is just put some on the edge here. And put that on here. Well, I don't know why I turned that around. Okay. Okay. All right, and then I put it onto a, which I don't know, you notice I cut out the center because I don't like it when I waste any paper that you can't see the inside of. I could have done that with the black too, but there's no need because black isn't as cherished as this glitter paper. I love it, but the glitter paper is just, I want to get as much out of it as I can. Okay. You can add diamonds to it if you want. Let me once again show you the other ones I did. There's this one, which I think is really pretty. And then this one. This one you can see more of the lines. And you can tell that I did a little bit more detail on here. And this one's a little washed out. But I still think it's pretty. And you can see what you're doing. And it does look like it's watercolored. So I think I hit my mark. Also, if you notice the berry burst and lovely lipstick. So I'm hoping it looks just as pretty with the lovely lipstick as it does with the berry burst, but I'm not sure. All right, I will see you next week, and I hope that you come back. Thanks.